Hey guys, meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this On the Snow Before You Go forecast. All right, here's what I'm seeing during this period. The storm cycle across the west will last until about 2:10. That's where we're going to see solid accumulation. And then after that, things start to shift away to the northern tier. Utah, your best snow accumulation now through 2:9. Wyoming, now through 2:9, some on 2:14. Colorado, your best snow now through 2:8, and then some additional snow on 2:10. That's all part of the main storm system. Now on the back side, there are two pieces of energy that will come racing in from the west and feed this storm and be absorbed. And that's what's going to keep that snow going through 2:8, 2:9, and 2:10 in many cases. And then the pattern's going to shift to the northern tier states, Pacific Northwest BC and the northern tier, 2:12 through 2:14, with some nice moderate snow accumulations in that period. And then overall across the west, a much drier period, 2:15 through 2:18. All right, let me give you the lay of the land. Here's the water vapor satellite imagery. This is so when you're looking at this, the moisture aloft, whites, blues, and greens, drier air, oranges, and reds. So here's our main storm system, and it's going to take its time moving through with snow. But on the back side, here's a bigger area of low pressure cruising through Alaska, Canada. But what it's going to do is it's going to send, you can already see it happening, little pieces of energy, little waves of energy down behind it. And these will come racing in on the backside of our low and be absorbed and feed that storm and continue that snow on the backside through 2:8, 9, and 10. Here's the forecast radar and satellite. By 2:8 at 5 in the morning, that's the situation. You can see where the snow is at. By the time we get to 2:8 in the afternoon, same kind of thing. You can see some energy coming in from the west. Now here's 2:9. Snow moving through Colorado, but there's also another batch coming in from the northern tier. 2:09 in the afternoon, you can see it coming down the pipeline into Utah, the Tetons, Idaho, and eventually that moves into Colorado. There it is, dives down into the Four Corners. You've got snow in Colorado on 2:10, across New Mexico as well. And by 2:11, it's moving away. Now the pattern shifts to the northern tier. That's where most of the snow is going to be, 2:12 through about 2:14. Watch it, next storm favors the northern tier. We'll get some nice moderate snow accumulations in those areas. All right, and then by the time we get into 2:15 and beyond, it's a much drier pattern, as you can see some high pressure ridging. All right, let's talk a little bit about the jet pattern here. So this is 2:8. So a couple things. You've got your main area of low pressure moving through the Intermountain West, and the jet with that orientation just brings in the energy on the backside, keeps things rolling. Here's the jet on 2:10. The very last piece, you can see the trough sliding through New Mexico, Arizona, Four Corners essentially, and then by the time we get into 2:11, it's basically gone. By 2:16, high pressure ridging, much drier across the west in general, and probably much warmer. Okay, snowfall by time period. So snow into 2:8, that's a big period for the Wasatch. You could see potentially 1 to 2 feet of accumulation during that 48-hour period alone. In Colorado, most of the snow is western slope in southwest Colorado, less snow in the Continental Divide and Summit County, about 4 to 6 up in the Tetons, and an additional, we'll say 4 to 8 inches for the Sierra. Okay, time period number 2, 2:09 through 2:11. Now, most of the snow you see here in the Wasatch comes on 2:09. Then it's drier. Most of the snow into the Tetons comes on 2:09. Then it's drier for a few days. In Colorado, that snow continues to fall on 2:10 and into early 2:11 with that departing storm system in northern New Mexico. Then the pattern's going to start to shift to the northern tier. And by the way, up in BC, look at the numbers 1 to 3, but watch the next time period. This is a little bit better. 2:12 through 2:16, more of the emphasis is on the northern tier in BC, where we could see 6 to 12 inches up in Washington and Whistler, Blackcomb, and potentially 6, 7, 8 inches up around Revel, Stoke, and Fernie, a little bit less in Kicking Horse, another 6 for the Tetons, another 6 to 7. Big Sky, Bridger Bowl, Discovery, Brundage, Schweitzer, all looking like they're going to be in good shape with that pattern shift to the north. Okay, let's go to the northeast, and this is a pretty dry period. I really don't have much for the major ski areas. Most of this comes on like 2:10, somewhere in there. And even beyond that, it's pretty dry. Most of the storm track is far south. You can see that. Most of the deeper blues are down through Massachusetts. So I just don't have any big storm systems during this time period for the Northeast. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this On the Snow Before You Go forecast. Take care, and thanks for tuning in.